As an app developer, people ask me all the time, James, do you have a bunch of really awesome applications that you use for development? What is on James's phone? What types of applications does an app developer actually have? In fact, I got this question via email, so I figured today I would break it all down by giving you a full tour of my iOS device and every single app that I have installed. So tune in. Hey everyone, so no joke. Literally, this was a question that I totally got written into me on my About page over here. You can just write in and request types of videos. Somebody asked, what types of apps do you have on your phone? What does your widget screen look like? Well, let me break it all down for you. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and bring up my iOS device. Whoa, there it is. Look at that. It's actually doing some screen mirroring here just via HDMI, so we can go ahead and look at it here. And this is it. I have one home screen. That's it. One screen. My Apple Fitness Plus is my big one. I have some of my top applications that I use, a little bit of weather, and of course, Pocket Cast, which is my podcast application. On the bottom, I have things that I use all the time, such as phone, iMessage, camera, browser, good to go. All right, if I swipe over here, this is basically the apps that we're going to go through today. Let's go through each of the categories, not necessarily maybe recently added or suggestions. However, apparently it wants me to look at my Dyson fans, so that's fascinating. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I have. First and foremost, let's go into social. Boop. Not very many social apps, as you would maybe think I'd have a bunch of social applications, but I really tried to slim down and minimize the type of applications that I have on my phone. The ones that I use all the time are pretty much the ones that are installed: iMessage, phone, FaceTime. I do use Instagram, both personally and professionally, and also kind of side hustle, weird things that I'm doing, like coffee roasting on the side. I use Snapchat all the time. I love Snapchat, mostly for just texting with my friends and my family members and my wife. That's mostly what I use it for. In fact, I think the best use case for Snapchat is sending short videos, like when we're traveling, to say hello, see how things are going. It's a lot nicer than cluttering up iMessage with photos that you're just kind of one-offs and, of course, little videos. Now, WhatsApp, I kind of hate. I'm not a big fan of WhatsApp. Not that it's a bad app. I just don't like the concept of having more chat applications. There's nothing wrong with WhatsApp. I'm not really a WhatsApp person, though I have found it useful with all of my amazing colleagues that are international as a great way to synchronize. So there's my social category. All right. Productivity, finance. What you got for me, iOS? Not much. This is pretty boring. These are literally apps that you'd probably expect. Well, maybe not all of them. So we got authentication app. Okay, cool. We got the authenticator. We got banking applications, calendar, contacts, files, little insurance application. And you may have noticed there's quite a few of Google applications on here as well. Things like Gmail and Google Keep are my go-to for kind of reminders and notes, and of course, email. I still have the Apple Mail application on there, mostly for testing. Now, I have shortcuts, but I don't really use shortcuts. I know that I probably should use shortcuts, but I don't want to use shortcuts, so I don't use shortcuts. Google Voice I use because I have a Google Voice number, which is super nice when you're doing like business types interactions and things like that. I also have OneDrive on there. I use OneDrive personally for every single thing. Every single video is on my OneDrive. I use Google Docs for everything like that, and the OneDrive app is fantastic. And of course, I have Visor. So I did a video on actually screen mirroring with different types of applications, and Visor is one of my favorite ones. So Visor is one of my development apps that I have on here, I would say. All right, next up, utilities. This is the big one. Funnily enough, the Authenticator app and the Google Authenticator app aren't in the same folder, but they're in here. Got an app store. Aukey Home. I have one smart, outlet that I bought on Slick Deals a long time ago from Aukey. It was like $5, and I use it on our Christmas tree around the holidays. So this app usually just sits there dormant forever, basically. Let's see. Clock, calendar, compass, as expected. App Store Connect, one of my favorite applications, as I'm checking App Store reviews, checking in to see how my applications are being downloaded or updated. The App Store Connect application is super good. So if you're an iOS developer, Visor, App Store Connect, those are the ones on there that I'd recommend. I use Microsoft Edge as my browser of choice. I have Safari on here as well, but I don't really use it too much. But Edge is my go-to since I synchronize between my Windows device, iOS device, Mac device, and my Android devices as well. Govee is another smart home type application like Aukey. And just like Aukey, I have one smart thing on this. which is specifically water sensors. They're on sale on Amazon, so I got those. I do use Apple Home. I have an Apple TV, and some of my cameras are on there, but mostly the Home is nice when I need to share some access, things like the thermostat with my wife, which is nice. Magnifier measure, those are built in. Mint Mobile. Check out my Mint Mobile reviews. Awesome. Scoreboard is an application that I no longer offer on the App Store, but it's a very simple App Store scoreboard application to count up and down. I got rid of it just because I didn't want to update it anymore. And then what? TestFlight. Got to have TestFlight. So App Store Connect, TestFlight, those are the things that are on there. I use TestFlight all the time for my own applications and for my friends' applications as well. Entertainment. Not a lot. I have 0 games on this device because I don't really play games on my phone. I have in the past here and there, but not very much anymore. Mostly play on my Nintendo Switch or my Xbox Series S. So I do have the Harmony application from Logitech. Yes, Harmony. I'm a big Harmony fan, even though I'm pretty sure they've discontinued all the Harmony remotes at this point. But this is a great application. Well, it's actually not a great application, but it's an application that helps you manage universal remotes. iTunes Store, never use it. Music, never use it. My Nintendo Switch app, I use that, which is nice. I'm a Regal Unlimited member. I always get the Black Friday deal, seeing all the movies. Last year, I think I saw enough to save quite a few dollars. You get a bunch of free popcorn, so I like it, and the Regal for me is really close. Apple TV, I don't actually watch it on here. Why is it on here? Anyways, it's on here, but I use it on my Apple TV, and I watch Ted Lasso and other shows like that. YouTube Music. I'm a YouTube Premium fan. I'm a big fan. I'll go back to Google Music before that. YouTube Music after this. So big fan of that. It's my go-to content consumption more than anything is YouTube. And then YouTube Music is my go-to music as well, which is cool. All right. Other. That's a good category. Other. Adventure Labs from Geocaching HQ. It's pretty awesome. Dutch Brothers, because I love coffee. Ecobee, because that's my smart thermostat, of course. One device for an entire application. Nailed it. Eufy Security is my security system, which has a bunch of cameras. I don't know, I got like too many of them. Apple Fitness. I'm an Apple Fitness Plus member. Big fan. Fred Meyer's our local grocery store chain. Got to get those digital coupons. M Smart Home, not MS Smart Home, but M Smart Home. This is specifically for dehumidifiers that are smart. So again, one device for an application. Nailed it. My Cadence. That's my application called My Cadence. And I see Dyson copied me with My Dyson. I see what you're doing there, Dyson. My Cadence is for cycling. My Dyson is for my air purifiers. Nanoleaf is for these Nanoleafs right back there. Philips Hue for my Hue smart light bulbs, which I only have like in this house. We have like 2, 3 maybe, and that's it. Just in the bedroom, so you can turn on and off the lights while you're in bed, which is on HomeKit as well. Nintendo Switch parental control, so I can get my reports. SwitchBot, another smart home device. How many smart home devices? Oh, there's another one after this. Oh my goodness. This is I did a review on this. I'll put a link, but it basically is a little toggle. They got all sorts of things. They got humidifiers, they got thermostats, and all sorts of little gizmos and gadgets. SwitchBot is really cool. Winix Smart, again, yet another app for a single device. This is another air purifier from Costco. So we have 3 air purifiers in the house, just because it gets smoky on occasion in wildfire season. Video and photo, also pretty minimal. I have my Canon M50 right here in front of me, and I use the Camera Connect to do the GPS location and download photos off of it. DJI Fly and Mimo, those are for my DJI drones and my other device thingy, whatever that thing's called. Google Photos, we're a huge Google Photos family here. Google Photos for everything. I triply upload all my photos from my phone though to not only OneDrive to Google Photos and to iTunes or iPhotos or whatever they are. Lightroom, although I don't really use Lightroom very much. I should probably not subscribe to it, but it's really nice. And Nish on my team has one of the most amazing Instagrams. I'm always jealous of it, and he just has amazing Lightroom capabilities. Apple Photos, we definitely use those, which are nice. It's kind of cool on the widget screen to get different photos from different places, so I like that. And then YouTube Studio. As a content creator, I'm in YouTube Studio all the time, getting comments, things like that. It's basically like App Store Connect, but for YouTube creators. We got information and reading. We got our garbage application, so I know what garbage to take out when. Libby is the public library application. Apple News, I don't really use Apple News. Pocket Cast, though, is my #1 pocket casting podcast application of all time. I've been using it forever and a day. Stocks, tips, weather, translate, they're all there. UAV forecast, though, if you're a drone flyer, this is the #1, my favorite application of all time. It basically tells you if there's any alerts, wind conditions, forecasts, all this stuff. It's amazing. Travel, also minimal, but some really good applications in here. So Bin is one of my favorite applications for marking where you've been, pretty much. So wherever you're at in the world, you can say, I went to this country, I went to this state, and you can get percentage completions, which is really cool. It's a free app. Geocaching, I'm a huge geocacher myself. So along with the Adventure Labs, the geocaching here is one of my favorite things. Go find geocache. I've been doing it for over a decade. Google Maps, Apple Maps, you got to have them both. Marriott, stay at Marriott's, park my car on occasion. Then Peak Finder. Peak Finder is one of my favorite applications of all time. That's why I still have it on my phone. I think it's a paid app maybe, but it's totally worth it. Basically what it lets you do is hold up your phone and then see all of the mountain ranges and buttes and everything like that, wherever you're at, and it'll do an overlay. Fantastic. And then that's it. I have a test flight app. And there we go. That's all I did it. That is every single app on my iOS device. Yeah, it's pretty minimal. I don't really have very much on there. Like I said, I tried to keep it slim just because I want to stay focused on where I'm at in the moment. I don't have any games, anything like that. I do spend a lot of time on the YouTube, on the Instagrams. But beyond that, mostly I'd use my phone as a phone. That's my plan most of the time. I will say this, though. I do put on and take off applications all the time. Sometimes I'll put my different stock applications or financial applications on there, take them on, take them off. Sometimes when different new social apps are coming out, I try to delete everything if I can, just because I don't want it. I want to get in and out of my applications. Anyways, maybe this was interesting to you because you're still here. And if it is, jam that like button, I guess. I don't know. If you want to see more types of stuff like this, let me know. They also asked, I think at the same time, of what apps I have on my Windows device. I mean, I'm looking at my app drawer here. It's VS Code, Terminal. What is this? Storage Explorer, OBS, Stream Deck, Edge, Visual Studio Visor. Pretty much it. I mean, there's a bunch of Elgato and other streaming apps, but not a lot going on there. But if you are interested in a deeper dive on what I got installed on my different devices, let me know. Maybe this was interesting. If you're still here, please think about using that subscribe button down there so you stay up to date with all the videos I put out here right on my channel. All right, thanks everyone for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this and have a good one.